in high definition.
It's a problem that's continuing to escalate.
He's talking about the excessive railroad congestion Mattoon drivers are seeing. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Brode. Amanda has the night off. In the last few years, people have voiced concerns that rail traffic is becoming an issue. This week, State Senator Dale Ryder spoke to transportation officials in Springfield to make some changes. WCIA 3's Maggie Hockenberry tells us the difficulties it's causing drivers.
Some people say they're seeing trains a mile and a half long that take 20 minutes to pass, and a driver I spoke to said he's fed up with these long waits. Waiting for a train can put a wrench in anyone's day.
It is a big hassle because whenever the train goes through, then they stop on the tracks.
This is what one driver in Mattoon says he sees regularly. A backed up line of traffic because of a stopped train. And he's not the only one noticing it.
It's a real challenge for people when they're going to and from in their daily lives.
City Council member David Cox agrees it's a growing issue. Mattoon was founded in the 1850s as a train community. Since then, traffic has increased significantly.
About 1/3 of the town is cut off from the rest of the town.
State Senator Dale Ryder is working to find a fix. He lives in the area and sees the same delays.
That limits the ability of law enforcement to respond to a call in that area of town, limited fire protection. The high school and one of the elementary schools is on that side of town.
These are just some of the things he wants to find a way to change. And he says before that can happen, some work needs to be done.
First is to work with the railroads to try to find some way to limit the delays. Second then is to find a traffic solution that helps Mattoon residents get across those tracks.
And although the problem won't be taken care of overnight, some drivers say it's not worth it to try and cross.
I'll just stand back and wait until it's clear.
Senator Ryder has been talking with transportation officials and the train companies about the problem. It's not an easy fix because he has to have cooperation from the companies as well, so he says just have patience as the process continues to move along.
And increased rail traffic is being seen all over the state, and more traffic could mean more accidents. We're digging deeper for you now. Illinois has the third most rail accidents in the entire country. Last year, it saw 16 fatalities. That's both drivers going around the gates and people crossing the tracks on foot. And Champaign police are still investigating a crash that killed a Champaign man yesterday. 20-year-old Dominic Phillips tried to pass the railroad gates at the Bradley crossing. That's when the train hit his SUV. Phillips died on scene. No one on the train was injured. A sting was conducted in the fall in this very location, and police found that this crossing is one of the busiest in the state. Friends and family continue to mourn a murdered U of I student. 20-year-old Vicente Mundo's memorial was held in Chicago today at his former high school. The family rented a bus to take students from the U of I campus to the service. An online fundraiser was started to help the family pay for funeral costs, and that goal was $5,000, and they've already raised double that. Mundo was killed in January, and men police say are responsible were arrested earlier this week. A Rockford woman with alleged ties to a terrorist group is still on the run, and she's one of 2 people from Illinois accused of being ISIS supporters. A woman from Schiller Park was arrested yesterday along with 4 other Bosnian immigrants. They're being charged with providing material to support terrorists, including sending money, weapons, and other supplies. Well, the state is investigating why the number of measles cases has reached a half a dozen. Senator Dick Durbin addressed the media on the health concern yesterday. Illinois Department of Health has confirmed 6 cases, and the first was in Chicago late last month. The other 5 are from a daycare also in the Chicago area. As the debate on whether or not to be vaccinated continues, the senator is encouraging everyone that it's safe.
The bottom line is this. The measles vaccine has been proven millions and millions of times to be a safe vaccine. We encourage everyone to have their children vaccinated to protect them.
The state health director reports that 2 doses of the vaccine is 97% effective. A new type of cancer treatment is being used in central Illinois. It's a procedure called HIPEC. It's It's a type of heated chemotherapy. It's used for patients with abdominal or pancreatic cancer. Now, the one-time treatment attacks cancerous tumors for many hours, and the length procedure requires more than 20 people to perform. This form of chemo has been used all around the state.
The advantage is that they get all of the chemo at one time directly to the areas where the tumors are, as opposed to chemotherapy given over weeks through the IV, which has more side effects systemically on the other systems.
Southern Illinois University's School of Medicine and Memorial Medical Center worked together to bring the procedure to the region. 3 patients have been treated at Memorial so far. And voters in the Champaign School District may be getting a phone call soon. That call is about the new Central High School. School board member John Babinak is taking a survey. He's hoping to find out where people want to see the new school go. Now, Babinak is paying for this out of his own pocket. He wants to spark up a discussion about alternatives to the Interstate Drive locations.
Certainly an opportunity for the community to get an understanding of the process that it took for the school board to get here. This is an 8-year process. I mean, just the last 3 have been about location, but we had considered over 20 locations before we decided on Interstate, or I should say before the Unit 4 administration decided on Interstate.
And Babinak says most options that people suggest aren't possible. He expects to have results at the school board meeting on Monday. And the survey gives alternatives to the Interstate Drive locations, and they'll include rebuilding Central on the same site, and that'll cost about $107 million. Building a school at Beardsley Park, which would cost about $150 million, and at Spalding, that would cost about $135 roughly. Now, the current district cost of building at Interstate Drive is $90 million. Well, it might be warm now, but that wasn't the case last night. Why some braved the elements in downtown Champaign. Plus,
I love it.
His 10-mile walk to work just became a whole lot faster. How this man got a key to a new life.
Live from your local news leader, Amanda Porterfield, Gary Brode. Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Mike Taylor and Matt Weatherston on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 10.